What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. And today we have another massive release reaction for you guys. I really hope you guys are excited for today's videos. Today we have a very exciting release reaction in store for you guys. Plenty of great models, I'm sure, and I'm really excited to take a look at this, and I hope you guys are as well. So without any further delay, you guys know the drill. Happy Sunday, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Christmas is almost here, so that's pretty exciting for the majority of us, and just awesome to get to see it. So without any further delay, let's get started. Or to anything else that you guys celebrate, of course. That's why I was saying for the majority of us. But no matter what you're celebrating, hope you're having a great holiday season. Alrighty, so we're starting here with the Easy Toys article. I believe we have some InFlights and some B models get started here, and also some Herpas as well. So let's take a look at what we got here for the 1/200 scale for InFlight. Beginning with a Altalia bird grill, or I don't even want to try to pronounce the full thing, but it's aluminum watch 747-243B. This is India Bravo Echo Mike Sierra, which is a really cool looking aircraft. Very unique, to say the least. I don't know too much about these, but they seem like really cool aircraft. I'm glad to get to see that Altalia's got some sort of really cool hybrid livery, to say the least, right here. So really good looking aircraft, and that looks amazing. Our next model encompasses the Altalia. This is going to, I think this might be just a special round of aircraft, but this is the Baki Chocolate Boeing 747-243 Bravo Mike, India Delta Echo Mike Foxtrot. Beautiful looking aircraft. I really like the detail on this one. Looks very unique, and I don't even know what to compare it to. It's a very interesting one, to say the least. So really cool livery right there, and it looks fantastic. Our next model encompasses the Aeroflot last Boeing 777-300ER Victor Papa Bravo Foxtrot Charlie. Good looking aircraft. I think their 1/200 molds are really good on the 777, or just in general, of course, throughout the industry. But the in-flight one I think is really good. So I'm glad you get to see that right there, and I think it looks fantastic. So great detail there, and that looks really good right there, to say the least. Our next options are more Herpas for the 1/200 scale. Let's see what we have going here. Beginning with a Hawaiian Airlines Doubles DC-3 November 33608 in the Viewmaster livery. So quite a unique looking aircraft, to say the least, right here. Very unique right here with the back, and then just the tail in general. I didn't know Hawaiian Airlines had DC-3s, so definitely learning every day, and that's what I love about these release reactions. Again, beautiful looking aircraft. Of course, you got your metal wings right there and everything. They look fantastic, and I'm so glad to get to see that right there. So beautiful detail, and well done there by Herpa. Our next aircraft is a USAAF Doubles DC-3, but it's a C-56. This is 4120095 Skytrooper. Beautiful looking airplane here. These nice simple military planes for the United States Air Force, or the AAF in this case, look really cool, and I think they look fantastic. So I'm glad you can see the detail. You also got that nose detail right here. This looks like a pretty nice simple mold, and if you're looking for one of these, Herpa's got you covered today. Following that, we have a TAP Air Portugal Doubles DC-4 Charlie Sierra Tango Sierra Delta. Beautiful looking airplane. Love the polish on this one. I think it turns out really well, and these polished models just look so cool. DC-4 is a pretty, I'm not going to say underserved market in 1/200, but I think that there could be some more of these. I'm glad Herpa's knocking these out. They've done some DC-6s like the Pan Am one as well, so glad to get to see these, and Herpa's doing a good job here for the US market, retro particularly. Speaking of which, here we have a new model. Actually, this is a KLM ATR 42-300 Papa Hotel X-Ray Lima Echo. Glad to get to see this one. Pretty interesting CGI right there, but I think it looks pretty good. So good job by Herpa for knocking that out, and that's a very good looking airplane. And we also have a lot Polish. This is going to be an Illusion IL-18 Sierra Papa Lima Sierra Foxtrot. Beautiful looking airplane. I love the detail on this one, especially the great underbelly there. It looks really cool. So glad to get to see that done in Herpa. Really knocking out some great desires here. Here's another really cool one. This is a UT Air Ukraine ATR 42-300 Uniform Romeo Uniform Tango Delta. Beautiful looking tail right there. Kind of reminds me of Project Utopia that British Airways was doing. So cool to get to see this transpired across Europe in a beautiful looking plane right here, to say the least. Our next aircraft at the bat is the French Civil Defense Doubles DC-6. We're just talking about those, so glad to see another one done right here. This is going to be Foxtrot Zulu Bravo Alpha Delta. Very nice to get to see this right here. Don't see many planes like this, especially all yellow, so I think this is a really cool looking plane and a very unique one for our 1/200 collectors. In addition to that, we're going to be finding a Lufthansa Airbus A350-900 Delta Alpha India Victor Delta in the CleanTech Flyer livery. How about this? So several iterations getting done in the 400 scale, so glad to get to see a 200 scale get done. So glad to get to see that, and that looks fantastic right there. And following that, we have a Swiss Doubles DC-4 Zulu Uniform India Lima India. How about this? Really unique looking aircraft, especially the font there on the Swiss Airlines. I think that looks very interesting, to say the least, right there. You also got the tail design looking really cool, and a very unique aircraft. So the doubles market is really getting fulfilled in a variety of ways by Herpa. And here we go with the different aircraft this time. It's going to be a French Air Force Transall C-160 actually. Last flight, Romeo 21264 Golf Lima. Very interesting aircraft right there. Really like the livery on this one. It's very creative, especially there in the front with those, I don't want to call them waves, but kind of those lines that go all across there. Then you got, of course, the C-160's dill sticking out there, which is really cool. Not sure what the proper term would be there, but some sort of something there. And then, of course, the tailback here kind of looks like I'm trying to think, a popsicle with the dark blue, light blue, white, and red. So cool, you get to see that in a very unique aircraft there from Herpa. It's been a fire release from them. Here's another cool aircraft, 1200. This is the Airbus Qantas Project Sunrise Airbus A350-1000 Foxtrot Whiskey Mike India Lima. Beautiful looking aircraft. Of course, we've got several of these in 1-400 like the Clean Tech Flyer, and I'm glad somebody's doing it in 1-200 in Herpa. So this should be a good looking aircraft, and hopefully it comes out good. Here we go with our Herpa 1-500s this month. We'll start with the Alaska West Coast Wonders getting knocked out. November 932 Alpha Kilo. 1-400, 1-200 have had these done, so glad to see 1-500 getting it. It's a beautiful looking plane. Oh, American Allegheny Heritage Airbus A319, November 745 Victor Juliet. Wasn't expecting that, but hey, they're getting it done there. So glad to get to see that, and I'm sure it's going to be a good looking aircraft there on the American Airlines Heritage delivery. In another fire release, are they going to do all four? This time we get Piedmont, November 744 Papa. So it looks like I think we might get all four in this release. This is pretty impressive if they're going to do what Aero Classics did. Oh, nope, just the two of them. Still really cool to get to see that, and I think they did a really good job getting those in increments. Here's the Iceland Air 737 Max and 500. This is Tango Foxtrot Ice India Charlie Echo. In the I want to do my best to pronunciate this. I'm going to try my best here. Jokulzar, something like that. Israel. I'm not exactly sure. Joko Israel. But this is the new livery, of course. Beautiful plane. I'm sure it's going to come out really nice. And I think that's probably everything, but let's check the website to confirm that, because when it ends, it usually is the end, but sometimes they get cut off. So let's take a look before we jump to conclusions there. And these, I don't know if these were here or not, but if not, we will cover them briefly. Yeah, these are kind of all wacky order, but let's cover these just in case. Get the lot 737 Max right here, and then the Etihad A350, the Air Sarabia, I think something like that, A330-200, and we also have a JAT doubles DC 1030. Good looking assortment of aircraft here. I'm glad to get to see that from Herpa. Sorry about that. I'm trying to get out of this. I'm gonna have to probably pull out the tab here, so let me see if I can do this. All right, and exit that out. But a good release there from Herpa. They did a good job, and I'm glad to get to see those and the in-flight planes knocked out. So a nice start to the release set. Aero Classics were covered last week, and here we go with the new NGs. Those are also covered 2 weeks ago-ish. And now we have the U.S. Air Force 2 edition. Let's see what they're talking about with this. All right, let's see if I can get this centered. See if I can get that to stay up. I'm forgetting what I did last time to get that to stay up. I think you have to go all the way up on that. But nevertheless, here we go with some Air Force Ones. So let's take a look at this. Okay, so it's going to be 1-200 scale. Here's the second edition upgraded USAF Air Force One VC-25A 2900 Boeing 747-200 polished with stand and keychain from InFlight. If they do the other tail number, I'm seriously going to have to think about this, because I did get to see the other one in Tulsa in 2020. I think it was 2800. So if they do the other one, we shall see. This is a second production, so pretty cool to see that. There it is. Oh, it's going to be like $200, isn't it? Let's see. 205. Man, I would really like to get that one. I really would. That would be a beautiful plane for the collection. We shall see if I do end up trying to get that at some point or not. But that would be a very unique plane to go along with the collection. But very glad to get to see another iteration nevertheless. And this is going to be very helpful for everybody. I recently just finally got an Air Force One 1-400. So maybe I'll have to go out and get some more unique planes for my fleet, as I've really been trying to build that 200 fleet over the last couple of years. So maybe this will be a good opportunity. We shall see. Okay, so I think these are going to be cars. Yeah, so if you want to take a look at these cars on Easy Toys, they all look pretty cool. I don't know too much about these, but the opening doors and everything look pretty cool. So looks like we got some Bugattis and some different things like that. So yeah, for all my car enthusiasts, there you go. A little bit of car hints today, but of course we're looking for the planes. Speaking of which, here we go with some in-flights here and some more car sales, it looks like. Let me see if I can get this to the very top here and see if I can get that to stop. There we go. So let's see what we have going here on our in-flights. British Airways Open Skies 757-236 Golf Bravo Papa Echo Juliet Open Skies. Glad to get to see this right here. I'm really glad to see that InFlight's adding all these collector coins and stands. These make it even more collectible, and the skin tags as well. So really glad to get to see the Open Skies done here. Very unique livery and concept to say the least. So I'm glad to get to see that done right here. And following that, we have another Utopia. This is going to be Chelsea Rose for the British Airways 757-200 Golf Bravo Mike Romeo Delta. NG and Gemini, I think, have both done this, so glad to see Chelsea Rose. I think it looks really good. They have a 777 with that one, and of course the 757 right here, so glad to get to see that in a beautiful looking airplane. British Airways getting some love. Here's some more of it right here. And then we got the Negus livery on the 757-236. Golf Bravo India Kilo Alpha. Love this livery as well. It's a very unique one. I think it looks really cool. Just really cranking it back right there with that release. So glad to get to see that right there, and I think it looks fantastic. Heading into the British Airways Cargo Negus livery, this is going to be a Boeing 747-236 FSCD Golf Kilo India Lima Oscar, and a beautiful looking plane this is. I think it looks really cool, very unique. The cargo dials are really cool on that, so I think they did a good job representing that, and a good looking aircraft right there to say the least. Alrighty, and how about a British Airways Boeing 747-236 Bravo Golf Bravo Delta X-Ray Lima, and this is also going to come with the stand, the collector coins like the others. So this is going to be the British Aero Tours, which is a pretty cool concept. I don't know too much about it, but I'm sure from my fellow United Kingdom viewers, you guys probably know exactly what that was. So pretty cool concept, I'm sure, and I'm definitely eager to learn more about it. So if anybody knows, I would very much appreciate a comment. Thank you guys, but very cool to get to see the air tours done. And next up, we have some 1-400s, including a British Airways A380. So when did InFlight get a 1-400 mold? This is very interesting to get to see right here. It's $99, and it looks pretty solid. The nose landing gear looks pretty interesting, but outside of that, this looks really cool. First off, the price is just... I hope that's a typo, because that's quite a bit, to be quite honest. $99 for 1-400 747. I don't know anything about this, but if anybody does, please let me know. But now we have a 1-400 E380 from InFlight, which is very interesting. We'll see how this one sells, but it's another iteration. This is just very interesting in general. I'm very shocked that they have this mold, so I'm not sure exactly what's going on here. It's rather interesting, but it looks pretty good. So if anybody knows what's going on here, please comment below. Okay, so that was the only one there, maybe some sort of one-off, but yeah, there we go. And if you want some more cars, here we go. And these cars, I mean, they seem pretty cool, and they're pretty big. They're probably like this big. Man, they are so expensive, but that Lamborghini does look pretty nice, and you do have various ones right here. Not seeing any Teslas anywhere or anything, but these all seem pretty good. And for my car viewers, another dose there of some cars. We got some Hogan and Sky Marks here, so let's see what they're all about. These brands, you know, don't get covered as much on YT, so I'm glad that we get to cover them here from Easy Toys, so thank them for putting this up. We got some militaries actually in the 200 scale, beginning with a UASAF F-15E White Walrus. How about this? 910324. Good looking airplane. I think Hogan does a good job in their 1-200 military products. I think the Hobby Masters are slightly better here, but if this is like somewhere in the ballpark of like, I don't know, like 80 to 120, that's probably reasonable. Let's see the price. 65. Yeah, so honestly, for the product you're getting there, it's not, you know, comparable to like a Gemini Max, but still very cool to get to see that, and it looks pretty good. So glad to get to see that release. All right, so here we go with our 1-200 as well. Cool aircraft there with the White Walrus. I think it looks really cool. Let's see what they got on 1-200. We got a Lufthansa Airbus A319 Delta Alpha India Lima Whiskey with the winglets, or fence tips in this case, and we also got some gear on this one. So glad I get to see that there. Pretty good budget option for 1-200. This should be like 50 bucks or so maybe. $53.99. So, and it does look pretty solid. It's a good hybrid. It's not as good as Gemini 200 or InFlight 200, but it's also not as bad as like, or no, let's not say bad, but not as lesser quality as Sky Marks. It's kind of comparable in some ways, but I feel like Hogan and Sky Marks kind of go at it one-on-one, and then InFlight, you know, on some molds Gemini can compete with InFlight, I think, but on others InFlight just takes the cake. But for instance, this recent model I got, you guys we'll see a video on this in a couple weeks probably, but this is the flagship Valor American A321 by Gemini 200, and it turned out super well. It's now got a pivoting nose wheel, which is really cool. Let me see if I can show you guys. Yeah, there you go. And the detail on it's really good, and it feels really nice level wings. You even got the wing flex there, you can kind of see from this angle. So ultimately really good stuff, and yeah, there's a lot of good competition going on. Speaking of that, now we got a Lufthansa Cargo A321 freighter, this Delta Alpha Echo Uniform Charlie. Glad to get to see this aircraft too, and glad to get the variety in the 1 to 200 scale. So nice to get all these different iterations and budget points. Here's some Sky Marks for pre-order. We start with the Qantas 747-400, and this is going to be Victor Hotel Oscar Echo Juliet, but this is a 1 to 100 scale, really big aircraft. So we're talking about somewhere in the ballpark of probably this big. It is a really big plane. So glad to get to see that, probably like in the 250, 300 range. $399. Okay, so I wasn't expecting it to be that expensive, but I mean, it's a huge plane, so it is pretty reasonable. I hope they start adding some more aerials and different items like that to these models in the future, but I get that they're hollow, really big, and, you know, even more sculpting would be took. But if you're looking for a big plane, just put like, I don't know where a good place in my room to show you guys would be, like on the desk right here, like on the corner or something. There you go. We also got a Lufthansa A321neo. This is a good looking aircraft, so glad you get to see this right here. I'm not sure why the tail numbers aren't coming up for this aircraft, but I'm sure it's a good one, so glad you get to see that right there. There's some sort of tail number on it, but good detail on the landing gear on this one. This one looks pretty good. Emirates Airbus E380, 1 to 250. This is going to be Sky Marks Light. Not sure what the tail number is, but a pretty good aircraft. And if you're looking for something a little bit smaller and more affordable than like a Gemini, for instance, probably about $47. Yeah, that's a pretty good deal for one of these. If you're looking for something decent just to put on your desk or just something to look at, pretty good deal there, especially for the price. And that is it. So good set of models right there, and I'm really liking that F-15, but also there's some good variety in there, so glad you get to see that. Next up, we have some more some more in-flights, including United Max 8, which is very exciting. I'm assuming it's going to be an Evo Blue, but we shall see. Definitely sparks my interest though, if I can get this tab thing to work. Come on. There we go. So let's see what we have going here for in-flight. Let's get started with the Hogan more military 1 to 200. And this time we have, I don't know why this came under military, but we have an Olympic Boeing 747-212B in this Sierra X-Ray Oscar Alpha Delta. Beautiful looking aircraft. I love the lean things here. Not sure what they're called, but probably aerodynamic related. But just such a classic looking airplane with the engine, the old design there, and obviously the full fuselage and livery. Beautiful looking plane in Olympic, carrying out that legacy. And here's a Qantas Boeing 707-300. This might be the wrong title. This is probably supposed to be in flight, but nevertheless, this is Victor Hotel Echo Alpha India. Beautiful looking aircraft. Glad to get to see them knocking out a Qantas 707 and really cranking it back to the V-Jet days. So love to get to see it right there. Alright, in the Lufthansa Boeing 707, this is a 430. How about that? The shorter iteration. Delta Alpha Bravo Oscar Foxtrot. Beautiful looking airplane. Very unique there with the tail design. Lufthansa's always kind of kept it the same kind of baseline design for their liveries, but they've always changed up something pretty significant, and you can definitely see how many years have passed with the liveries. So glad you can see that aircraft done nevertheless. South African Airways Airbus E350-941 gets made here. Zulu Sierra Delta Foxtrot for Louisville, the code. Love this aircraft choice right here. The A350 is such a good looking plane. I think the South African livery goes along really well with that. Just love the tail, and the winglets look really cool too. So good looking aircraft there to represent South African. Alrighty, and here we have a, I think it's just Lada Air, Boeing 767-3Z9ER, Oscar Echo Lima Alpha uniform, excuse me. A really unique gray underbelly, especially just this cutoff on the livery. We've seen some very interesting liveries over the years, and this is another great example of that. You also have the really unique L shape right here. Kind of gives me the retro kind of vibe to a degree, but I wish it was a little bit smaller and you could really kind of see it. But you can visualize that in many ways, so excuse me guys, really interesting to get to see that right there. I think it does look pretty cool no matter what. In the Lufthansa, Airbus E310 gets knocked out. 203 variant, Delta Alpha India Charlie Foxtrot. Beautiful looking aircraft there. Love the livery, very cool. And yeah, this is pretty similar to what they end up having with their livery before the Euro White and the Navy tail. So pretty cool. Alright, this is LTU Airbus E332-23. This is Delta Alpha Lima Papa Golf. Beautiful looking aircraft, only 44 pieces, so if you're interested in this one, definitely get your orders in. This is a good looking aircraft, very unique livery, and LTU had a pretty interesting history to say the least, so another great way to represent them if you're looking to do that. And here we have a Lufthansa Airbus E332-23. This is going to be Delta Alpha India Mike Alpha, only 57 pieces this time around, so another very limited quantity. Get your orders in, but it looks really good. And here we have a Jin Air Boeing 737-83 CET, excuse me, Hotel Lima 8353 Korea. So glad to get to see this right here. Jin Air is a pretty cool airline, very unique, and I'm glad to get to see this done here. Kind of looks like a Max. I'm not sure what the 8CT is, but it looks like a Max from the glance of the picture. So possibly a typo there. I guess we could check just for the heck of it. Indeed, it doesn't say that, but 8CT might mean Max. I'm not sure. Here's the item, which makes me feel like it's Max for sure, but it also says it up here in the URL. But something like that. You guys know the drill. 8CT might just mean Max. Not sure, but that's a guess. All right, Ryanair UK 737-8K2 Golf Romeo uniform. Kilo Golf, and I think they have another tail number option of Papa Hotel Sierra India. Glad to get to see another good Ryanair done, obviously known for their landings, but hey, you got to represent them somehow, and I think this is a pretty cool looking livery, and maybe one day I can get on a Ryanair flight to document for you guys what that experience is like. All right, and here we have, oh boy, I always suck when I try to pronounce this. I'll do my best. Airline is Argentina's, something like that. Boeing 737 MAX 8. This is Lima, Victor, Golf, Victor, Delta. Very unique looking aircraft. I think it turned out really well. I think their mold looks really good on this, and I would always be interested in getting one of these, probably a wide body aircraft for this airline, but still seems pretty cool, and whenever I'm able to pronounce it properly, then maybe I'll get one. Gull, Boeing 737 MAX 8 right here, and this is going to be Papa Romeo X-Ray Mike Delta. Good looking Max here. Glad to see that the Gull is really getting represented well. NG's done some 400s, Gemini's done some 400s. Now InFlight's doing some 200s as well. I think some other 200 companies have worked on these. Gemini I think's done a couple. So glad to get to see this done here, and we're really getting the variety for Gull. Norwegian Air Shuttle Boeing 737 MAX 8, so it's Max month it would appear. This is going to be the Mark Twain tail, Lima November Bravo Kilo Bravo. Beautiful looking aircraft, Norwegian, quite an airline to say the least, as you guys may know. I think the tail looks pretty cool there and a great design, and if you're looking for a Norwegian Max, this might be the one for you. Is the United coming up next? No, we're going to get a Rex Regional Express Boeing 737-800 next. Victor Hotel Romeo Echo X-Ray for Rex. Beautiful looking aircraft right here. Glad to see Australia really getting a good presence when it comes to these model aircraft, both 400, 200, 500, all the scales. And this is a beautiful looking aircraft right here. Definitely would recommend if you're interested, and it looks really good. There it is. The United Airlines Boeing 737 MAX makes an appearance. November 37257. Beautiful looking airplane. Definitely one I would be possibly interested in. The only caveat I would say is I have the 737-700 for United. So, and I kind of still want to build, like, finally get a Southwest 1-200 plane and get some other different ones that, you know, I don't necessarily already have. So what I try to do with my 1-200 collection is start by sentimental value. So obviously all my American Airlines planes. And I really try to get a little bit of everything. So I have the, I have one of every U.S. airline. I have a military. I have some general aviation aircraft. I really want to get a military, or I'm sorry, I really want to get like a airliner military, like KC-46 or something. I want to get a cargo aircraft. I want to get like Air Force One. So I start sentimental and I break it down into more unique sectors. I'm just looking at my 1-200 to make sure I have some regional jets. So I try to break it down really cool, unless there's an exception like the Alaska Company Store. But this would be another great option there. So we'll see. But I hope to continue to build up my 1-200 fleet in various ways. And maybe they'll do a Southwest Max. I think that would be really cool from InFlight. That would look really cool, and I definitely have to consider that. I am curious on the price though, and the price of this is $113 US, which is pretty reasonable considering the quality. I will be getting my first in-flight when the America 757 comes into Chrome 1, hopefully sooner than later, but we shall see. All right, here's a Sabena, I think. Sabena, Boeing 747-100, Oscar Sierra Golf Alpha. Another beautiful looking aircraft here. I'm excited to see how this one comes out. Should be a pretty good looking aircraft, and it looks really nice. And I think that rounds out the in-flights here. Let's double check, but I believe that is everything. Unless if it hyperlinks us to military stuff. Yeah, it hyperlinked us to in-flight, and these are probably the next article, so I'm going to kind of wave that one off because no, we've seen these actually. Okay, so I think this is correct here. I don't know why those were listed first, even though this was the more later email, but yeah, it's one of those things. So good release there from InFlight. The United's very intriguing, but it looks great. Lastly, we have some new Herpas for in-stock and pre-order, so let's take a look and see what Herpa has rolling for us here to round out today's tier list. We probably won't do one next week because of Christmas, so hopefully you guys are fine by that, and we'll hop back in, and there might not be many releases till then anyways, and we'll hop back in on January 1st on New Year's Day, probably, with whatever well, we might have some different videos that day, I'm not sure, but we'll have some more tier lists coming up. I'm sure Gemini will do their release in the coming weeks. NG will probably be back at it sometime early this upcoming year, and you know, obviously Aero Classics will have theirs like January 13th probably. So we got some new releases coming soon, but nevertheless, let's round it out here for 2022. If this is the last release reaction, it's been a great year. I might do one more before the year ends, we'll see, but nevertheless, this has been a great new series for the channel, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it. We've done like 40 of them, and it's been a bunch of fun. But nevertheless, let's get started here with the final release, and it's actually going to be Herpa one. So let's get started with the new in-stock items. Got a Cessna 172 and one to 87, so a pretty interesting competition there to the Gemini's 172. This is the white mini kit Railroads, so pretty interesting aircraft right there, but very nice if you're looking for it. Here we have our 1-160s, didn't know we had those. We have a very unique BAE Junker GU 52 Jupiter model. This is Juliet Alpha Hotel Oscar Golf. Beautiful looking airplane, just a really unique one in general. I didn't even know they were making this, nor how to mold or anything. Very unique aircraft. It looks really cool. Obviously a little bit of reminiscence there to the DC-3, but it's unique in its own ways, which is really cool. So glad you get to see that one done. That's a cool aircraft. I am curious on the price with the scale and everything. $85 US, and it looks pretty detailed, so I would say that's a pretty reasonable deal if you're looking for that. Here we go with our 1-500s in stock. We have a JTA DC-10, so it might be everything we just looked at, but nevertheless, this looks really good. Okay, yeah, I think it's going to be everything again, but we have the Air Sabia A3-3200, and yeah, I'll just wait for the ones that I haven't seen yet. A lot Polish Embraer 170, that's a good looking aircraft. I like the mold there, it looks really nice, comparable to the 1-400s, honestly. Eurowings A330-300, this is a good looking aircraft. The Discover livery, of course, I like it, looks really good. And a Royal Jordanian A319, a very unique void to fill there. Hope we get some more of those in 400, I think those would be helpful, and 200 as well. Oh boy, I'm going to do my best here. I think it's going to be Croatia Airlines Airbus A319, 9 Alpha Charlie Tango November. Beautiful looking airplane. I like delivery, especially tail, very unique. These molds seem pretty good, honestly. China Airlines 767-200 Bravo 18636. Beautiful looking airplane right there. I'm excited for that one. Looks really good. Okay, Embraer House Techline Embraer ERJ E195. This is E2. I wonder when we're going to get a 1-400 mold of this, but Herpa obviously is knocking out their 1-500, so looks really cool to say the least. Profit Hunter. There's not many airlines with this yet, but I know Porter's getting after, and obviously these Taos ones like this one. So we'll see. Papa Romeo Sierra India Quebec. Okay, DHL 757-200. Hello Australia. This is a good looking aircraft with the winglets. I like this one. Oscar Echo Lima November Zulu. Really good looking airplane right there. And here's a British Airways Airbus A320neo. This is going to be Gulf Tango Tango November Alpha Better World delivery. Really good looking aircraft. Hope that we get more of these in the near future for various brands. Glad Herpa's knocking out for our 500 scale collectors. Sadia Retro Boeing 777-300ER Hotel Zulu Alpha Kilo 28 75 years livery. That's a really good looking aircraft there. Sadia obviously has a very rich history. I think they did a good job representing it with this livery. And how about a Cebu Pacific Airbus A330neo, 900 neo that is, Romeo Papa C3900, Charlie 3900. Good looking aircraft right there. I hope to catch one of these sometime in real life, but hey, it looks great in the model form, and I'm glad we're getting some more models of it. And here we have an Aer Lingus Airbus A330-300 Neo Echo India November. Sorry, I was trying to make sure I didn't botch anything there. In the St. Dalton's livery, so it looks good there, or the titles I shall say. Beautiful looking plane. I hope to get an Aer Lingus widebody in the near future. I did get a 321 Neo for Christmas last year, so we'll see what this Christmas brings around. Obviously with the Irish heritage, yes, maybe I'll tell by my first and last name. So love to see it right there for the boys. 3-leaf Clover looking strong. And that might be it for Herpa. Let's see if we have any additional items here. This one was not on there, but it's a Lloyd Flight 727-100 that looks really good. And yeah, all these have been in. So what a great year of releases, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. A really good set there, and Herpa rounded it out very nicely for us. So like I said, I really hope you guys enjoyed this. What a year, and it's crazy to think that release reactions have really made a name for themselves on my channel, which has been really cool to get to see. I hope you guys have enjoyed them. It's definitely helped me enhance my knowledge on different manufacturers like JC Wings, Phoenix, Herpa, InFlight especially, and some of these other miscellaneous ones, you know, Hobby Master's really cool, Hogan, Sky Marks, and so many other brands. So it's been really cool to get to see this. I'm excited to see what's to happen in the near future, and definitely expect to release reactions going in 2023. Also expect a channel update. We'll briefly discuss it going in there, but definitely expect it for all the brands. We'll have individual videos for Gemini jets, NG models, Aero Classics, possibly Phoenix and JC Wings going into the future, and InFlight, and then everything else will probably be grouped together like massive tier list, massive release reactions. So nevertheless, I hope you guys enjoyed this very much. What a great assortment, and yeah, really cool to get to see it right there. Hope you guys enjoyed it. But with that being said, that will do it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe, trust the process, do what you love, and love what you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon as Redriveraviation is signing off.